Hello, and welcome to Math 8, Unit 4A, Lesson 5. Today's objective is scholars will convert numbers between standard and scientific notation. Okay, so let's talk real quick about scientific notation format. So we have over here our coefficient. The coefficient is the number that we are multiplying by our power of 10. That's our base and that's our exponent. Remember, our base will always be 10. Remember that our coefficient must be at least 1 and less than 10. Basically, you should have one digit in front of your decimal. You have as many digits after the decimal as you need, but you only need one digit in front of the decimal. And you have to have that one. Okay, so converting scientific notation into standard form. So let's think about what happens when I multiply by 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 10 squared is 5 times 100. Well, that's 500. 5 times 10 to the third is 5 times 1,000, which is 5,000. 5 times 10 to the fourth is 5 times 10,000, which is 50,000. 5 times 10 to the fifth is 5 times 100,000, which is 500,000. Put my commas here. Might be a little easier to see. Okay, so what do you notice? Basically, I'm just adding a 0. Each 10 adds a 0. It moves my decimal, because remember, 5 has a decimal right there that we don't bother writing. So every time I multiply by 10, I simply move it over 1 and add a 0. Move it over 1 and add a 0. Move it over 1 and add a 0. Okay, so that's going from scientific notation into standard form. Well, what about when I divide by 10? Remember, that's our negative exponents are dividing by 10. Well, 5 divided by 10 is 1/5, or 0.2. 5 divided by 10 twice is 1/25, which is 0.02. 5 divided by 10 3 times is 1/125, which is 0.002. So I guess you tell times 4 is going to be 0.0002. And then, again, divided again, it's going to be I add a 0.00002. Okay? So the first time I got my 0.2, and then I just kept moving my decimal place over. So I went from 0.2 at -1. I just kept moving this decimal place over and adding zeros. That's all we're doing for scientific notation. Remember, whenever we have those negative exponents on our scientific notation, we're talking about little numbers. The bigger the negative number is, the smaller the number is. Okay. Well, what about if we're converting scientific notation into standard form? Okay, so this is a little bit interesting. So I'm going to take this number, my coefficient, I'm going to write 1, 3, 2, and I'm not going to bother writing where my decimal is. Okay? Because the decimal started here, but I know I am multiplying this, it's getting bigger, so I'm moving my decimal 7 times. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each of these empty spots, I'm going to fill with a 0. So I get a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. And then I'm going to go back and remember to put in a comma every 3 dots. So I have 0, 0, 0, comma, 0, 0, 2, comma, 1, 3. So that is 13,200,000,000. No, sorry, 13,200,000. That wasn't too bad. So let's try that again with 3.8. This time I know this is a small number, so I'm going to put the 3 and the 8 here. I put the 3 and the 8. My decimal starts here, but I'm making this smaller by 10 times to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. My decimal goes all the way over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 zeros. So when I write this again, I can put a decimal and then 9 zeros and then the 3/8. Okay, so let's try another one. Here I've got this number, 5.973 times 10 to the 8th. It's getting bigger, so I'm going to move my decimal to the right. So I've got 5973. And I can move my decimal place, so we're just starting here. 8 spots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can fill each of the empty spots with a 0. And then I'm going to remember to put in my commas every 3. So this is 597, comma 300, comma 000. That's 597 million. Okay. We're going to do the same thing with this. We're going to write, now this is again, this can be a small number because I can see I've got that negative. So I can put the 2, 9, 8 over here. And then I'm going to move my decimal place 12 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 zeros added. So this is a decimal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 2, 9, 8. Okay? Again, but the big thing to keep in mind is when I have negative exponents, it's going to be a very, very small number. When I have positive exponents, it's going to be big. So this one's going to be a big number. Very, very big. So this one is 982. I'm moving this 15 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3 zeros. Okay. So, if I put in the commas, comma here, comma here, comma here, comma here, comma here. So this is hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. So this is 9,820,000,000,000,000,000. That's the number. That's a really big number. Okay. And this last one. I've got 7.1. I've got a negative exponent here. So I'm going to put the 7, the 1 here. I'm going to move this over 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. I'm adding 5 zeros. So I get 0.00000071. Not too bad. Okay, big things. Again, negative exponents are little numbers. Positive exponents are big numbers. So, now let's talk about converting into scientific notation. So here I have, if it is a big number, it is a positive exponent. A small number is a negative exponent. First thing we have to determine is where do we put our decimal. Remember, we have to have one non-zero digit to the left of our decimal. So I'm going to have to put for this first one, the decimal is going to go right there. So this is going to be 4.32. Right now, I have a decimal right here. So I have to figure out how many times I need to move that decimal. So I move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So that's times 10 to the 9th power. And that's all we're doing. So let's look at this next one. I need to put the decimal right after the 7. So the 7 goes there. And then it's going to be times 10 to some power. It's going to definitely be negative. So let's go from where I have it to where I need to have it. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 spaces. So this is the negative 11th power. That's all we're doing. Next one. My decimal. Remember, I need one digit front, so the decimal has to go in between the 3 and the 2. So this is 3.24. And then I figure out how many times I do my decimal. It's definitely going to be 10 to some power. Let's see. We have to move it. It starts out here, remember? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 10 to the 7th power. All we're figuring out is where the decimal goes and then how many spaces we're moving it. This next one, the decimal needs to go between the 6.94. Right now, the decimal is all the way over here. I need to move it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 spaces. And remember, this is a small number, so it needs to be a negative. So it's the negative 13 power. Last one's going to be a big number. So I'm going to put my decimal here. It's going to be 1.548 times 10 to the, again, I'm just going to start with my decimal here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12th power. And that's it. Okay, so go ahead and try these, and I will see you all in class.